this series of exercises is for spinal mobility. So if you have back pain, tightness in your back, or your back's achy at the end of a day, it may be that we just need to move our spine, get some mobility back through the spinal column, and lengthen and stretch the muscles. So we're going to start straight away on our hands and knees. You want your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And we're going to hang our head down, squeezing the chin to the chest. Next, lift your breastbone as there is a flame underneath you that you don't want to get burnt by. Lift up and away from that flame. And then finally, tuck under your tail. Pull that tailbone underneath you into a big cat stretch with your chin squeezed onto your chest. Keep this big rounded space so that you're pushing the ground away from you. And then move your bottom onto your heels. Keep pressing the ground away. Keep rounding your spine. Sink your bottom down onto your heels and then let it all go. Bring your forehead down onto the mat. As we rise up and out of this position, I want you to start with belly button first. Lift belly button up and off of your thighs, keeping that scoop through your body, and slide your hands towards your knees as you roll out of that curl up, straightening through the spine, lower back straightens up, shoulders roll down your back, head lengthens to the sky. Rise back up into all fours. We're going to go again. Tucking our chin to our chest, lift the breastbone as though we're moving away from a burning candle. We don't want to get burnt. Pull in through the belly button, tuck under the tail, find that deep stretch. Now from here, keep that rounded spine as much as you can, bottom sinks onto heels, and see if you can work your forehead down onto the floor. Then belly button up and off of your thighs, scoop through the body, uncurl, straightening up your back, lower back first, mid back, upper back, head lengthens up towards the sky. Last one here, rise up through all fours. Squeeze your chin to your chest, lift through your breastbone, tuck under your tail, push the ground away from you, round the whole back line, stretch those muscles, strengthen the front. And now push all the way back, sink your bottom onto your heels, your forehead onto the mat. And then from there, you're going to roll back up, opening up that low back, restacking your vertebra one at a time. Low back straightens up. Mid-back straightens up, shoulders roll back and down, head floats up towards the ceiling. All right, back up into all fours now. From here, we're going to work on that length. So the left leg is going to reach back and away as we reach the opposite arm away from us. So it might feel a little bit wobbly here. That's okay. It's going to get more wobbly as we move. Scoot through your body, round through your body, blow the air out. Squeeze that right elbow to the left knee and round your whole spine. Left hand, right knee, drive into the ground to push the ground away. Breathe in at the end. Breathe out, lengthen it all the way back out. Reach through your right fingertips, reach through your left leg, look forwards. We want to create a bit of shape in that back now. And go again, blow all the air out, scoot through your belly like you're in a harness being lifted up to the sky. Squeeze your chin to your chest. Elbow and knee as tight as they can be. Breathe in. Breathe out, lengthen and reach away. Find that stretch. Allow your belly to dip down. Squeeze your shoulder blades down your back. Breathe in at the end. Breathe out, smooth. Lifting through your belly. Feel that right bum start to work as well as you change shape. And breathe out, smooth. Lengthen through your fingertips. Stretch through your toes. Keep that breastbone up and away from the ground so you don't sag down towards the floor. Breath in at the end, breathe out, smooth. Breath in again here, and our last one, we're going to reach away. Reach, 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 reach. Stretch through your fingers and release. Come down onto all fours. Straight into the other side. Right leg's going to reach away. Left arm is going to reach forwards. On your next out breath, lift through your belly like you're in a harness. Pull your elbow to your knee, round your whole spine. Push the ground away from you. Breathe in at the end. Breathe out, reach and lengthen. Stretching the ground, stretching away, pressing down into the ground. Look at your fingertips, but keep your shoulders away from your ears. And again, round through your body. And reach away. Remembering to breathe in at the ends and breathe out as you move. Take extra breaths if you need to. If I'm going too slow, too quick for you, you can work that out. Go at your own pace. And we've got one more to go. Reaching all the way away from here. Breath in at the end. Breath out, hands down onto the floor. All right, now from this side, from this 4-point position, I want you to work side to side. So you're going to work on squeezing the right waist, drop the right shoulder, pull the right hip towards the right shoulder. So you get a tight C curve to the right hand side. And then release, push your tail back. And then take your tail to the left shoulder, look over the left shoulder, drop your left shoulder towards the left hip. And then release back into the middle. We're going to go again. We're going to squeeze the right hip to the right shoulder, dip the right shoulder down, work that side of our back, open through the left, and release. And again, squeeze the left, and release. Rounding our spine, we're going to do the same thing again. Tuck your tailbone underneath you, push up towards the ceiling, and then see if you can squeeze your right hip to your right shoulder. Keep that rounded spine, come back through the middle, squeeze the left hip to the left shoulder. Looking over your shoulder as you go, shortening the left, lengthening the right. Keep that ground pressed away as we go to the right hand side. Squeezing the right shoulder down, pulling the belly in, back through the middle to the left, left shoulder down. And release. Now from here, we're going to make our way into sitting. So if it's too uncomfortable to sit in what we call mermaid sitting, you can sit on a block or a cushion. You can even do this on the edge of a chair, dropping one leg down the side of the chair and bringing the other foot up and on towards you. And what we're going to try and do is open up the waist, so we allow the back to stretch. So the foot that's out behind you, that hand is going to come down and onto the ground. And then the opposite arm is going to reach all the way up and over, lengthening through that side. Taking a big breath as you look underneath the arm. Breath out, rotate down towards the ground. And again, open up. Looking underneath your arm, breathing in. Breath out, down towards the ground. And the whole time I'm encouraging that left bottom to stay on the floor. So I'm moving over the top. I'm trying to get my ribcage to leave the pelvis. Get some length through that spine. Open through the hip. Okay, we're going to do one more twist. Rotate. And then from here, we're going to start to press and look up. Scoot through the belly, look down. Arch your back, look up. Scoot through your belly, look down. So you're just encouraging this whole back to lengthen. If you've been bent over a desk today, your body's going to love moving. Notice each bit that's stiff. We're going to focus on the mid-back here. One more in each direction. And release. Let's change sides. So the left leg's going to come behind us, or if you're sitting on a chair, drop that left foot down to the floor. Bring the right foot up onto your chair. The leg that's down or out behind you, that hand comes down onto the ground, and the other arm is going to come up. And you need to focus on that right hip staying down on the ground, not letting it lift up, otherwise you'll lose your stretch. Look up and underneath your arm, breathe in. Breathe out, rotate to the ground. Twist that mid-back. Open up into your twist, look up, breathe in. Breathe out to twist down to the ground. And again, all the way up. And rotate. And what you're trying to do is just work to the edges of your movement. So you might move more than this, you might move less than this. It's the edges of your movement, your range, where you feel the stretch. Allow those muscles to move, let go, the back to open up, spine to mobilize. One more time. Rotate down. And then from here, bending the elbows, lifting the chest like you've got on your favourite necklace and you're showing it off to the room. And then you're going to hang your head, push away. And again, squeeze your shoulder blades down your back. Try and arch your back, work into that arch. Hang your head down, scoop into the belly, round away. Go again for me. Thinking about the opposite of being hunched over your desk. Your chest is so proud, your neck is so long, your shoulders are so dropped. And then back down. 3 more, squeezing through your shoulder blades, trying to move and change the shape in your back. Noticing where that stiffness or the block might be. Last one. And release. Now we're going to come and sit on our mat. I want your legs to be long. And if you struggle to get right up onto your sitting bones here, then you can sit on a cushion or a block. From here, we're going to reach our hands up in front of us, and we're going to start to add on a twist through the spine. So the first thing I want you to do is tuck under your tailbone and curve through the lower back. So you roll back, squeezing on the tummy muscles, and then rise all the way back up, straightening out your spine. Tuck under your tailbone, C-curve your lower back, and then rise all the way back up. So you're alternating between working the back and the belly. Try and keep your upper body as still as possible. Try not to let that move or take over. Use the low belly and the lower back to control this movement, like a little tug of war between the front and the back. And then once you've got that, we're going to add in our twist. So on the next one, I'm going to squeeze back through my right elbow. As I tuck my tail, I'm going to try and get the right elbow to tap the mat. And then we're going to come all the way back up. Tucking my tail, twisting to the left. All the way back up. Blowing the air out as we come down and twist. Breathing in as we rise back up. So that twist is coming from the mid-back, but also the muscles at the front. We're allowing the back to move, and we're using the tummy muscles to help us to do that. You might not go very far in this twist back. You might make it all the way down to the mat. You go just as far as you can go. Work through your body, use your out breath. Keep those legs straight, try not to let the hips take over. And as I come up, I'm reaching to get me right up onto my sit bones. Alternating sides, reaching to the sky to sit bones. Curling, tucking my tail back under. So we're working on mobility and endurance on this one. So I want you to do 10 more. Control it all the way through. Taking it only as far as you can. Might make it to the mat each time. Some might not make it all the way back down. As long as you can come back up from where you go. Last 4. Last 2. And 1. All the way back up. All right, so now we're going to make it down into lying. So if you can use your tummy muscles to help you get here. Otherwise, hold on to your legs and go from here. So without using our hands, if we can, we tuck under our tail. We go into a big scoopy curve shape. And then slowly, with control, we allow one vertebra to touch down onto the mat at a time. Just one at a time, pressing it down into the floor until our shoulders come down and finally our heads. Then we're going to take our arms all the way up and over our heads. This is just to try and give some length through the lats, the big muscles which run down from our arms to our pelvis. And then we're going to work into extension. I want you to tuck your bottom underneath you, press your lower back into the floor, and then peel one vertebra at a time up away from the mat, peeling all the way up. Keep your arms pressed down into the floor, and then roll your body all the way back down, one vertebra at a time, until that lower back presses into the mat, your pelvis, then tip away, arch your back. Go again, tucking under your tailbone, trying not to slide up or down your mat. Make the back move instead of you moving to compensate. And then lower your back down one vertebra at a time, rolling your pelvis forwards. So it's as though your back is a string of beads in a necklace, and you're lifting one bead at a time. Allowing the back to move. Notice any bits which are tighter than others. And maybe rock and roll over those bits. Focus on those areas. Stay there, try and loosen that off before you bring in the whole spinal movement. going to go through 4 more. Check in with your whole body. Press your big toes into the floor and the little toes as well as your heels. So each foot has these 3 points of contact. Use the back of your legs to keep you still. Try not to press with your thighs and slide up and down your mat, but hold on to the mat with the backs of your legs. Find your tailbone, allow it to be proud, stuck out, and then tuck it right underneath you. Feel your lower belly muscles pull that tail underneath you. And then keep working through the tummy and the back at the same time as you peel your body away from the floor. Press your arms into the mat, your shoulder blades into the mat, and each vertebra as you come back down to the ground to roll your pelvis through. Let's do 1 more together. So pressing through the big toe, little toe, heels. Squeeze with the hamstrings, the back of the thighs. Tuck the bottom under, clench the bottom. Peel your back all the way up, looking straight up to the sky. Roll your body all the way back down, 1 vertebra at a time, until you come back down onto the floor. All right, from here I want you to bend your elbows and take your hands behind your head. We're going to work on the front of the body now. What I want you to think about doing is not squeezing our chins to our chest. We all spend too much time kind of hung over our phones or our computers. So I want you to try and keep that space in our neck. We're going to use the tummy, but without pulling on the neck. So imagine you've got a tennis ball underneath your chin, and you're just going to keep that tennis ball distance between your chin and your breastbone. And the movement is going to come from the 6-pack. I want you to breathe out, drop your belly button to the spine. So you're going to drop your belly button down, breathe out, lift your forehead to the ceiling, not to your knees, just come up towards the ceiling, and then come back down. Breathe out, belly button, draw it down to your spine, lift up to the sky, and then lower your body back down. Okay, 1 more practice. Belly button down, breathing out, lifting up, releasing it down. All right, now we bring in the legs. So hands behind our heads, left leg only for this one. As we lift to the sky, the left leg is going to squeeze towards our nose, and our lower back is just going to press down into the floor. Breathe out, scoop in through the belly, squeeze the left knee in towards you, head comes to the ceiling, and then release. Breathe in, reach away, that leg's going to go away from you. Breathe out, press your body into the floor, keep your chin off your chest, squeeze that left knee to your nose, feel all of your 6-pack muscles come on. Release, lower your body down, reach that leg away. Push your back into the floor, lift your body to the sky, feel the tummy muscles come on. Lengthen, come back down onto the mat. Keep that flowing, breathing out to lift, in and reach away. You're going to work the whole front side of your body. Having that stronger tummy muscles will help your back muscles. And we're allowing our back to move. Two more on this side. Last one. And we're going to change. Lower that left leg to the ground. We're going to go straight into the other side. As the right leg comes up, we're going to scoop to the sky. Drop the belly button down towards the mat. Back pushes into the floor. Reach the leg away as you lower your body down. Try and keep your elbows wide so you're not pulling on your head, but you're just using them to cradle your head, take the weight out of your neck, help you scoop up. To also remind you not to squeeze your chin to the breastbone. And you're trying to get that right leg all the way in towards you. As you squeeze that in more, you're going to feel the tummy, the 6-pack muscles pull on more. It's okay in this exercise to allow your back to move. That's the intention. Sometimes in certain Pilates exercises, we might want you to keep your back still. I want you to move your back. It's probably been sitting quite still today. And the intention here is to allow it to move and feel better. 3 to go. And last one, blow all the air out, squeeze your knee to your nose, and then release. Okay, now the last range we want to work into is extension. So we're nice and free through the back. We're going to roll all the way over. We're going to work those muscles down through your spine. So your hands are going to be just underneath your shoulders, either side of your head. And I want you to press the tops of your feet firmly down into the floor. As you press your feet down, your kneecaps may well lift up and away from the ground. From here, I want you to try and keep your belly button drawn in towards your spine so you don't overarch your back. And then you're going to breathe out and you're just going to lift your breastbone, your forehead away from the mat. Use your back muscles, the strength in the back muscles to lift you up. Lower yourself back down. It's really important that you keep the tops of your feet pressed into the floor, your kneecaps lifted up. Lift your breastbone up and away, float away from the ground. Release and lower. And again, tops of the feet into the ground, lift our breastbone up and away. Release and lower. And you want to squeeze the muscles in your back. You don't want to compress into the low back. Just squeeze the muscles here. Try and keep your shoulders down away from your spine. And as soon as you can, if it feels okay, you can start to take your hands away. So you do the same movement, but you use your back muscles to lift you up now, keeping the tops of your feet on the floor, kneecaps hovered. So that all that strength comes from your spinal muscles. Last two. And one. And then use your strength to press away from the ground. Straighten your arms. Push your bottom onto your heels. Try and get your bottom firmly down onto your heels. The only reason not to push that is if it gets sore into your knees. Then you can always put a towel behind you so you can stretch your back without clenching your knees. So if you can get your bottom down onto your heels, then I want you to see if you can press your belly into your thighs and make your forehead come into contact with the ground. Your arms then are going to rest either side of you for this little child's pose. And you want to keep your bottom pressed onto your heels to keep that low back from stretching and from rounding. You can hold this position for as long as you want to. I encourage a 2-minute stretch. Over that time, you get good creep through the muscles. The muscles slowly let go and lengthen. You're nice and warm from doing the previous series, so you can really make the most of this stretch. And then when you're done, you lift belly button up off your thighs, you squeeze your chin to your chest. You curl up and out like a flower that's unfurling. You straighten through your low back, squeeze your shoulder blades down your back, and let your head float up towards the sky.